Hello, my name is Saocain, and I'm going to play Raven. I'm going to talk about Raven's abilities, perks, and I will show a powerful build with Raven in the commander slot. The primary Raven ability is lefty and righty, which is dealing decent damage even in the high power level missions. The second, but no less important, ability is Warcry, which is a huge damage buff to lefty and righty. The third ability is Frag Grenade, which is not so important, but has good synergy with the build I am going to show you a little bit later. Raven is a soldier, so he has two class perks. The first class perk is Suppressive Fire, buffing damage when shooting the same target, so it is most effective against bigger and tougher enemies like Huskies, Mist Monsters, and mini-bosses. The second class perk is Stay Frosty, which is slightly buffing ranged weapon damage. Raven is Brooding Master of Dark Skies. Raven is a creature of darkness, but now fighting with us against Husks. It would be cool if his lefty and righty ability would have different visual effects, something dark. Or he could create the night at the moment he activates lefty and righty, or spawn a slasher to fight for you for the duration of lefty and righty. I think it would be cool if every hero would have different visual effects according to their commander perk and what are they focused on. Let's take a look at the Raven commander perk. Raven commander perk Bang and Pow Plus increases lefty and righty ability damage by 25%. Also, lefty and righty causes explosions which deal 20 base energy damage in the half tile radius. Lefty and righty explosions are pretty good against hordes of monsters, and because those explosions are dealing energy damage, they are useful against all elemental monsters. There are 3 soldiers focused on lefty and righty ability, and Raven is the most powerful of those 3 heroes. Raven's standard perk increases lefty and righty ability damage by 25%, the same damage buff as the commander perk. Just the standard perk cannot cause explosions, so Raven will be useful in the support team if you are going to make lefty and righty ability build, because there are not many soldiers who have lefty and righty ability and can do something really good with it. You probably should play Double Agent Evelyn or Carbide as the commanders if you want to have Raven in the support team. If you don't like lefty and righty ability, you still can get Raven because he will unlock the Preemptive Strike Team perk, which is a good and useful perk for a lot of different builds. The team perk slot is occupied by the Bioenergy Source Team perk, which recovers shields based on the portion of energy lost. So the Frag Grenade ability is really good if you want to deal damage and recover shields at the same time. Also, remember nature enemies. If Nature Husk deals damage to you, you will lose a portion of your energy immediately and over time, so you will recover some shields instantly and over time as well. The first support perk is Dragon Daze. When your shield depletes, knock back and stun nearby enemies for 1 second. I have Dragon Daze support perk in Splody Pistol's build, because this perk is good for survival. When a lot of husks surround me, instead of dying quickly, I will stun and knock back those monsters. Dragon Daze perk has good synergy with Bioenergy Source Team perk in a pinch support perk, which I am going to talk about a little bit later, and medieval weapons, which can regain shields. If you want to use Dragon Daze support perk, you need Thunderstrike Mari. So, the second support perk is Ghoulish Cackle. I want lefty and righty to deal extremely high damage, so Willow's perk Ghoulish Cackle will help me a lot. Because of Ghoulish Cackle perk, I must keep my health at about 60%, so I'll get the full ability damage buff, which is 37.5%. Ghoulish Cackle perk is buffing Frag Grenade, lefty and righty, and lefty and righty explosions damage. You can get Ghoulish Cackle perk from Halloween Outlander, Willow. The third support perk is In a Pinch, and because of this perk, reloading weapon with an empty magazine regenerates 13.5% of your maximum shields over 3 seconds. As I mentioned before, In a Pinch support perk has good synergy with Giant Days perk, because if you are using a ranged weapon with a small magazine, you can regenerate shields quickly. If you are using the medieval shotgun, which has only one bullet in the magazine and can regain shields on crit, you can regenerate shields even faster. In a Pinch support perk has good synergy with the build, and it will keep you alive longer. If you want to regenerate shields more quickly, you must have Chromium Ramirez. The next perk is Oh My Eye. This support perk increases headshot damage up to 50% based on the percentage of your missing health. I am using Oh My Eye perk because lefty and righty can do headshots, so if I am on or below 50% of my maximum health, I can deal 50% more damage to the head. And that's a lot in my opinion. Oh My Eye support perk is buffing ranged weapon headshot damage as well, so I can deal more damage with the medieval shotgun too. It's a win-win. If you want to have Oh My Eye support perk in your hero loadout, you need Halloween Soldier, Jonesy Bot. The last support perk in the Splody Pistols build is Subwafers. You can get Subwafers on missions when you are harvesting metal objects. The reason I have Subwafers support perk in my hero loadout is the 50% damage buff. If you are going to play like me, you don't need to get a lot of Subwafers, about 10 is enough. I am using Subwafers after Warcry ability and before lefty and righty, because the Rockin' Rift damage buff, which you will get from Subwafer, is decaying over time. Always use it after Warcry and make sure you have enough energy for Warcry and lefty and righty abilities. If you want to have a chance to harvest Subwafers, you need Mainstage Quinn. Slowfield is the first gadget in Splody Pistols build. Use it to slow down the hordes of enemies. Use it to make sure you have enough time to beat smashers before they beat your fort. Or use it on mini-bosses to beat them easier. The choice is yours. The second gadget is Stationary Hover Turret, which is a flying mechanic little robot who hates husks as much as smashers hate forts. An excellent device for offense and defense. The Splody Pistols build has some survivability issues, because you have to keep your health at 50% or below, and we still have no team perk to massively increase shields and stay on 1 hit point. To increase survivability, I am using medieval weapons. The best medieval weapon for this build is Stalwart Squire in my opinion. It is dealing decent damage, has 1 bullet in the magazine, so In a Pinch support perk is regenerating shields with every reload, and it regains 2.64% of damage dealt as shields on every critical hit. That's not many shields, but if you have at least 1 shield and the husk hits you, Giant Days perk will knock back and stun nearby enemies, so you have more time to reload and you will probably survive. The first weapon slot is for Subwafers, the second for Stalwart Squire, so I recommend using a mid or long range weapon in the third slot. I am using Medieval SMG, Hemlock, because it has the same 6 perk as the Stalwart Squire shotgun, so it regains shields on crit as well. I guess Darkness has to fight against the Darkness, because Smasher has melted in a few seconds. Nor Blasters or Takers can't do much against Raven in 1 vs 1 fights. To kill elemental mist monsters is harder, of course, because lefty and righty is dealing physical damage, so elemental enemies take only 50% of all damage. Carbide lefty and righty abilities dealing energy damage, but he is too weak to fight against high power level mist monsters. Raven instead is much more powerful, and even if you are fighting against elemental monsters, Raven is still better than Carbide at the moment. I want to mention a few Splody Pistols build disadvantages. Because Warcry and Lefty and Righty have long cooldowns, you can't be very useful in the battle. Raven can deal a lot of damage, but with quite long pauses between Lefty and Righty activations. When Lefty and Righty ability is active, you are not healing at all if you are playing Splody Pistols build. You can die quickly, so you need to be careful and play safer than usual. Raven Commander perk makes Lefty and Righty ability to cause explosions, which is good damage wise. But this effect also can be harmful, because all those explosions are covering the screen pretty fast, and sometimes you won't be able to see anything. Raven's Splody Pistols build is a powerful Lefty and Righty ability build, but it has a significant weakness, which is survivability. You can survive easier because of the decent shield regeneration, but if you are playing solo in high power level missions, survivability can be a problem. After we have heard about disadvantages, I think you want to hear about advantages too. You should saw how fast I can kill mist monsters with Raven as the commander. Raven is the most powerful Lefty and Righty hero at the moment, and if you like Lefty and Righty ability and you want to deal a lot of damage, you should definitely play Raven. The Splody Pistols build has a really good shield regeneration, and if you play in public and your power level missions, you should be able to survive pretty easy. It's time to rate Splody Pistols build. So Raven in the commander slot and Splody Pistols build hero loadout creates a mighty Lefty and Righty ability, which is capable of killing hordes of husks, mist monsters, and even mini-bosses. Survivability is quite poor unless you know how to play safe, and you are not going to the highest power level missions. To play Splody Pistols build is pretty straightforward. Still, you have to remember that you have to use Warcry ability first, then eat one subwafer, and only then activate Lefty and Righty ability to start Splody show. I had a really great time playing Raven's Splody Pistols build, and I hope you will have something about the same. To play Splody Pistols build, you should have Stalwart Squire Shotgun at least, if you want this build to work as it should. Hemlock is a good choice too. So, when I compared the build power and survivability, advantages and disadvantages, what is fun about this build and what is making this build dull, I can say that Raven's Splody Pistols build is worth to have rating A. Final thoughts on Raven. He is a good looking badass hero. He has a good commander perk, he unlocks Preemptive Strike team perk, and he likes dual pistols and explosions. Definitely get him while you can. That's all I wanted to show you guys about Raven and Splody Pistols build. Please share your thoughts about Raven. Do you like him or not, and what do you think about Splody Pistols build? Is it powerful enough, and isn't it too squishy? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you. If you have enjoyed the video and you find it informative and exciting to watch, please press the like button. And if you really enjoyed it and you want to watch more videos in the future and support the channel, be sure to sub. Have a great time and peace out.